Hey everyone, welcome to Do Ghosts Be Real, episode 7. It's been a couple weeks since we've done an episode. We both had, we all had some busy life stuff going on. We had some vacation time and, just some crazy work schedules, but we're back at it now. So sorry for the hiatus, but we got a big episode for you today.
We certainly do.
Yeah, we certainly do.
It's massive.
It is.
And I don't think any of us realized the undertaking it would be. So
No, we did not. I proposed this topic, and I thought it was a singular topic. I thought it was like one story. Turns out this is actually super common, and there are stories from all over the world about this phenomenon. So today we're talking about a ghost called the White Lady.
And this is like a type of ghost. This isn't one specific ghost. It's
Exactly.
called either like the White Lady, the Lady in White, and there are other names for this kind of phenomena, but it seems to be a phenomena that occurs over the world everywhere.
Yeah.
which is wacky. Like
who
thought and each different culture has a different take on it.
Yep.
Right? Like some of them are murderous, some of them are just
It seems like some of them are pretty chill.
Yeah.
Others will disfigure you for talking to them.
So how did we came to this subject initially, and I was a bit of a dong about this one. You initially had proposed it, and it was something to do with what was it? There's a Netflix show called Sophie.
Yeah,
or
so
something
there's a
like
Netflix show called Sophie. If you're listening to this podcast, you'd probably enjoy it. It's a true crime documentary about a woman who was murdered in County Cork in Ireland. So what happened in this story is this woman, she went on a road trip in Cork, and she wound up at this castle. It's called Three Castlehead in West Cork, Ireland. So it's this beautiful, picturesque castle next to a lake, as they are in Ireland. It's just stunningly gorgeous.
Yeah.
with all that rain, just nice and green.
Beautifully green. So she's going on this road trip, and she goes into this castle, and she sees this ghostly figure, like a woman in white. It terrifies her. She doesn't know what to do. She feels frozen. She runs away and goes to her friend's house. Now her friend was not native to Ireland, and
I thought she talked to some foul. Oh, maybe they weren't native to Ireland because she's a French lady. She's from France, right?
she was a French lady.
Whoever she talked to, they were like sheep farming on the land or something like that. The Ungerer family,
exactly,
or something like that.
But they didn't know about this legend of the White Lady. Apparently, anyone who sees this ghost called the White Lady will die within 24 hours. And this lady did die within 24 hours.
Super cheery, and I love to hear that.
Oh, yeah, that's just a great omen.
Before we get too wild, we do have some announcements to make.
Oh, yeah, I guess
well.
Sure. Before we even get into that, I was just going to say, before we do our big announcements, because otherwise I'm going to get too far away from it. I'm sorry to jump down your throat this.
No.
I was just going to say, like, initially when Simon was like, because we run through our little chat and we try to figure out what our topic's going to be, and he was like, well, why don't we, like, my mom watched this documentary on Netflix and there's a ghost in it. It's called Sophie. And I was like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, dude. Like, what do you mean there's a ghost in it? Sophie's like a true crime documentary. And of course, I didn't watch really much of it. My lovely wife, Lauren, was watching it, and I watched, and it was like very, very serious crime documentary stuff, but I had no idea there was any sort of paranormal aspect whatsoever. I just like straight called you crazy. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. You're like, well, there's this like Lady in White documentary on Netflix, and I was like, Lady in White, and there was some sort of movie called The Lady in White, which presumably is about this phenomena. Of course, we didn't watch it.
No,
but then I did. Then you were like, well, it's Sophie, and I was like, no, you're wrong, dude. That's all right. And then I had to eat those words because, as it turned out, you were 100% right, and I'm sorry for that.
Well, that's okay. I did not watch it, so
no.
That's okay.
I mean, also just to clarify things, none of us watched it after all.
Why would I do that?
Apparently, the ghosts and the spooky stuff was a limited portion of it anyway.
Yes, so that was just sort of like the intro to the story, and the rest was like actual, like a murder documentary, like something that my girlfriend would just love. But I've been so busy that we didn't watch it. I was hoping to watch it, but we didn't get around to it.
Sometimes, I mean, I have all the time in the world, and I just didn't bother watching it. So.
You're a free man now. That's announcement number one. Brett's he's waving his tie around. He's dancing on desks. He's doing cartwheels. He's feeling good.
Brett has returned to Monkey, and his full-time job is working out now.
Brett's retired.
Brett's retired.
I've more or less become an ape.
At the old age of 27.
I've devolved into ape at the age of 27, which, you know what? I was already halfway there, so, like...
Well, you're gonna be buff, and
Is-
Spencer's not gonna be able to keep his hands off you.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I'm living in a feel of
You
that,
know,
baby.
I really living in Saskatchewan. You might as well just call me a snow ape because that's what I am. I'm just big, white.
You
and
are the
that's
Sasquatch.
all we
Just
got.
a beefy fella. Anyway, Brett, before I jumped down his throat so rudely and launched back into what I was going to say, because that's what I like to do, we do have some announcements. And
Some pretty big ones.
We do, yeah. We have some pretty big announcements.
yeah, we're pretty pleased about this stuff. Up top, we're going to announce the fact that you may be watching this on Shaw Spotlight Cable at this point. You may be watching it on our YouTube channel. You might be watching it there. In any case, we are now on cable TV. I don't know exactly what channel it is on, but it is on Shaw Spotlight. So if you're in Saskatchewan and you have access to community television here,
If you are one of the 3 people who knows about Shaw Spotlight TV,
You know what?
check us out.
but you know we need those 3 people. We're very
do.
excited about
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
They have a vast audience, and we're very excited to have them on board. And we want to thank Eric Steiner for reaching out to us.
It's
to,
huge.
It is actually
like
like,
to get us on TV. We're pumped up.
oh yeah, like
we're-
I kind of make light of it, but actually this is ridiculous.
Yeah, we're 7 episodes deep, and we're already getting
Yeah.
asked
We're excited about
to do
that.
stuff, which is great, fantastic.
which
Like
is
I'm
cool.
super pumped on it. Like I never expected this in a million years.
Nope.
I expected, maybe we'd have 10 people listen to
Hey,
us.
we got 42 subscribers on YouTube, and
Hey!
we're on TV, baby.
Yeah, there
That's
you
right.
go.
So that's
moving
big,
it.
we're big time.
42.
boys.
We got some new ones.
We can't wait to monetize. I think you get to you get to monetize around 45, right? We should be making
no.
we'll be
No.
making PewDiePie money by then, right?
buddy, it's try 1,000.
What?
We got to get 1,000.
1,000?
Yeah.
I bet it's way more than that.
We're just
No,
gonna- we're just gonna
it's
sell out.
It's 1,000, and you need I think it's
It's a lot.
800 hours
Yeah, you
of
need a lot
play
of
time.
watch
It's
content.
it's pretty
So-
ridiculous.
But not to worry, we're gonna sell out the moment we can.
Oh.
we're gonna do
No, we're-
that.
we're-
And yeah, look forward to that.
You know what?
but-
I will sell any supplement company. I will sell I will sell my own mother if
Hey,
it means
Caveman
that I can
Coffee,
eat.
here's looking at you. Hey, Manscaped?
Oh,
we
yeah,
can
there you
shave
go.
our bodies. We'll shave our
Yeah,
bodies
yeah.
on camera.
I'll
You
do
want
it
that?
live on air.
I don't know if that'll make it to the Shaw cut of the show, but
Probably
it'll
not.
certainly make it to the YouTube
Man,
version.
I'll talk about Audible till I'm blue in the face.
Hey, NordVPN, where you at? We want to be safe on the internet. But anyway, we're very excited about that.
We are.
The show is going to be airing. I think it's in a time slot now called Spotlight Features is what it's labeled as, and it's
Cool.
after Strip Down. So
Sweet.
if you've got traditional cable and you live in Saskatchewan, please check us out.
Yeah,
that would
for
be
sure.
great.
That'd be cool.
And then
Tell
of
your
course
friends.
check us out in our regular spots.
Yeah,
of
you know,
course.
yeah.
Our YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Google. No iTunes.
We're still not on Apple. What is wrong with us?
Yeah,
You're
well, a
right.
mixture of
But-
a mixture of Tim Cook having personal beef with us, and also Steve Jobs is still haunting us,
Yeah.
and also I haven't done anything about it.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, I gotta
That's
do
okay.
something about it.
I
Dude,
don't think you do.
I
It's
think,
fine.
yeah, it's fine. We'll get
I
it
will
sorted out one
fix
day.
it.
We'll get it sorted out one day.
But as far as other announcements we have, we've received some lovely gifts from some people. We got these fantastic and very spooky Tabor candles from a friend of the show, Sarah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. My witchy friend Sarah, she hooked us up with some nice candles, and we're very excited to have some set
move these over
pieces
a little
for
bit.
the show.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty cool looking. I gotta be honest. It's neat.
It is wild looking. I got us this very spooky kind of candle holder to hold them. I think, do these have some sort of, I was actually doing some research on taper candles, and I know that there are ritualistic charged
Yes.
taper candles, and then there are just regular taper candles, but I know
that's
that
what
each of these have a
these
meaning.
are. They do have a meaning. I wish I could tell you them.
That
Maybe
is-
maybe if we ever do have Sarah on the podcast, she can
I
explain
think the
what
black
each...
one, from what I was looking at, was for hexing.
Oh.
So if we want to do some hexing, we could. Do we have any enemies yet? I don't think we have.
I don't
any
think we
enemies.
have
I got a
enemies
list,
yet.
guys.
You got an?
It'll be my own personal vendettas.
There's that
but-
one guy who unsubscribed. We're gonna get him.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go get 'em.
Yeah, he told us that he was going to be with us from the beginning to the end, and he unfollowed, but he might have also just deleted his Instagram.
He also
So
might have.
hey, if you're still with us,
We love you.
we do love
we
you.
respect
my
you.
dude. We still dig you, but if you're not, You're on notice, dude.
You're
You
on
know who you are.
It's on site.
But anyways, we're not gonna light the hex candle.
We're not going to be lighting the
gonna
hex
do it.
candle. Not right now, anyway.
We're not gonna do
We
it.
also received Ghost Stories of Saskatchewan by Joanne Christensen, and it appears some other guy on here also that I can't read his cursive, Darren something or other. But
That's-
we received that from our dear friend Andrew Tamman, also a
Yep.
friend of the show, who has a fantastic painting company called Atlas Painting. They do incredible work for very good prices.
They painted my mom's house.
Fantastic prices.
Yeah,
like
they
you
did a great job.
can't beat it anywhere in the
Yeah,
city.
he's a hard worker.
Yeah.
He is a very hard worker.
Yeah, Andrew's a good guy.
Sweet, sweet, sweet boy. And we also just want to say thank you to everybody who reached out via email. Thank you so much for your ghost stories
Yes.
and for your suggestions, because we've had people reach out and like suggest places we should go, and also like tell us their personal ghost stories. Keep that stuff coming. We're
Yeah,
gonna do
for
an
sure.
episode with all the ghost stories at some point once we've compiled enough of them.
Yep.
And also, we're going to be trying to make an effort to actually do some, like, on location fun stuff, whether that be
Yeah.
ghost hunting or episodes, you know, recorded in different places. We're going to be doing some stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
this,
sure.
this fall we're hoping to take a deeper dive into this stuff.
Yeah, and you know, I think with the opportunity that Shaw's giving us, that's going to give us a good opportunity to talk to local places in Saskatchewan,
Yeah.
and make sure that they know, like, we're doing this to represent them. We want to tell their story. That's
Totally.
what we're doing.
We're
Like,
going to
these
use
sites-
Shaw as a crowbar to get into
You
all
gotta.
these spots.
Exactly.
Sometimes you gotta, because I mean, if we just bust them with we're an internet show with 42 subscribers. I think we're a pretty big deal.
Hey,
I
we're a
think they
pretty
might
big deal.
be,
We are on local cable and the internet. You can't beat that.
Definitely not.
We're the kings of late night, baby.
We're trying.
yeah.
But we're pumped up. And then our final thanks, of course, is to your pal Kira, who did a tremendous amount of research
a huge
for
deep
us.
dive for us.
Yeah, seriously, if you're listening to this, thank you. We owe you.
She
the
will be
busiest
listening
week.
to this.
I
I
had
guarantee.
I had the busiest week, and I did a little bit of research, but her notes literally saved my life. So
Yeah, she went deep.
She
She
went
really
deep.
went way deeper than I had expected, and I was excited. I did some. I elaborated on a few things, and I read all kinds of stuff. And of course, you know, I'm the skeptical dingbat that I am. I have to be checking everything. Everything she researched was like right on.
Yeah,
just
she-
perfect. It was very, very good. And if she wants to do any more research for us, hey, Kira, go to town. We would love that.
We don't have money, but what we do have is shout outs.
We'll pay
Yeah.
you in shout outs like crazy. Hey,
yeah.
we'll give you a credit on the show. If you keep doing research
yeah.
for us, boy, we'd love that.
I mean, I feel like she deserves a credit on the show because,
Definitely.
like, seriously, everything that she went through here is like it's great.
It's so in-depth.
Kira, you basically made this episode,
Yeah,
so thank you.
Thank you very
Big
much.
shout
We
out to
very-
Kira. Thank you.
We very much appreciate
Yep.
it.
But should we get into, like, so what is a white lady or a lady in white?
Brett,
I
you want to take
can
this
kind
one?
of take this
Yeah,
one.
sure.
So from all different stories, it seems like a lady in white. The white has to very much do with like her marital status.
It's like a purity thing.
Yeah, it's a purity thing. You know, a lot of the lady in whites are either mothers or, you know, they're brides that have died on their wedding day. Just
Yep.
lots of things like that, which is very upsetting.
It seems like the legends of how these women became ghosts are maybe not so progressive. It seems that
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of husband murder.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it seems like.
It
to
also
me.
seems
it's very
like
upsetting.
Murdered by husband or murdered husband and then killed themselves.
or perhaps
Yeah.
murdered their children.
Yeah, a
Just
lot of
some
child
dark-
murdering as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, we like to talk about murder on this show. We're all about brutal murder.
Apparently, we're cross-sectioning with true crime. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I like it. I dig
True
it.
crime,
actually.
folklore, all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. And there's like a real theme of just trauma with these particular ghosts, because it kind of seems like the big themes are betrayal, infidelity, loss.
Yeah, it seems like
you seem like it seems like most ghosts, though. There's anything that has to do with them. There's lots of trauma around.
It also seems like it has to
subject.
do with disrespect.
Yes.
Like it seems like all these women have been disrespected in some way. Like again, you know, Kira's notes here say that like these are women who have strayed from their typical, you know, womanly duties where they're not loyal to their husband, or they're being flirtatious with other men.
Some of them, and then other times it's the other way.
Exactly.
Around.
Other times they are the pure chaste
And-
ones, and their
and,
husbands are the ones screwing
like
around.
what I found really cool though is like we said, it's not just like a North American thing. It's not just like a UK thing. Like we have
it's
we have
worldwide.
stories
Yeah.
from Japan, we have stories from the Philippines. It's wacky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
from-
over the various Americas. It is really wild.
From Europe, like the Netherlands, Mexico, Thailand, Guatemala.
Yeah, isn't it nuts?
Yeah,
Like-
it's crazy.
Like, when we approached this topic, we just figured like, we'll maybe find like maybe one or two
Yeah, like
sightings or
I
whatever.
specifically was just
and-
thinking of the one in County Cork, Ireland,
and
which
that
I
one
also
seemed to have the least info on it of any of them.
yeah. It
I
was
mean,
just like a few pages on that one.
I'm looking at the info right now that I have, and it is at least like 2 pages worth of stuff on my phone. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
minimum.
I have-
but like all different ones, right? Not just the Cork one.
yeah,
on all the
so
other ones. I have the most notes that I've ever had.
Yeah, you
for
just
this
have
show.
you have a dossier there.
Look at
You
that.
really do.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, if anybody's actually watching in 4K on YouTube, zoom in. You can read some of Simon's notes there.
Exactly.
But also, the one thing that seems to be also quite prevalent across this. I don't know why I even said the one thing. One thing that does seem quite prevalent across all of this is just that some of them are people who are based in history. And there is like a historical record of somebody who actually passed away, and a lot of them are folklore. It seems
Yeah.
like whether
Yeah.
they're actually people believe in them, and there's like this kind of theory that if enough people believe in something, they can kind of make it real. Which I don't know how I feel about that exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
But in any case, like in situations like La Llorona, a very, very famous one. That one in Mexico. There are a whole pile of them that would probably class somehow as whether you think it's real or whether it's folklore. There isn't any actual... I couldn't find any historical binding, but these are stories that people who grew up in these areas were like told to to try to keep people to the norms. Like, hey, if you stray from the norms, like this ghost is gonna find you and it's gonna drown you in a river because
Man,
it's looking
I
for
hate
its
when
children
ghosts
because
try to
God
drown
told
me in the river. I hate it. It's the worst. As
hate
a
it.
man who's just been drowned in a puddle a few times by a ghost, I can't say I'm a fan.
What? You're a man who's been
What?
drowned in a
No,
bottle? What
I-
are you
you gotta-
talking
you
about?
gotta,
I'm
elab-
fooling,
you gotta
I'm fooling.
elaborate on this one.
They have
Did
not.
La
they-
Llorona find you?
No, the most I've ever had is just like cold spots and like being touched.
I was gonna say, you
other
sure
than
you weren't
that-
just like doing weird drugs and just wound up in a puddle? Just,
You know
like,
what, man?
seizing
It's
out?
entirely possible.
Yeah, it's all those
we just don't know.
all those strange hallucinogens you've been ordering from overseas and then waking up in a gutter.
You know what I hate? I hate it when ghosts pressure me into social norms.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't-
worst.
I don't like
But
that.
that's what a lot of this seems like. Like Mum will tell, like particular in the case of La Llorona, there are a lot of like in that particular case. I guess we could go into it, but
Yeah.
in any case, before we launch into it, this one is used by a lot of people, specifically of like Mexican descent, and also like other parts of Central America and South America. This one's very prevalent there. This story has been told to kind of keep people in their lane. Like,
Yeah.
like, hey, if you don't make your bed, like La Llorona is going to come and get you. Or hey,
Yeah.
if you wander, another thing I guess that's very common with this one, because this one is very water heavy. Hey, if you go around dangerous water, La Llorona is going to grab you and drown you. So
Yeah.
it's like maybe to keep people
She's
safe.
almost like the boogeyman.
She is,
Yeah.
yeah.
You'll find a lot of places throughout the world do have just like a boogeyman, right?
Yep.
So it's like, you know, I get it. Like it's scary as all hell. I mean, but at the same time, like you can't use fairy tales to keep people away. Like,
Man, you sure can, and they've been doing it for a very long
I guess,
time.
but like now,
The Catholic Church has made a
Dude.
whole thing about this.
dude.
Arguably a lot
Now-
of very, very big
Well,
organizations,
I mean-
regardless of where you stand
I mean,
on
now
them.
though, with the information that we have, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it's
It's
kinda the-
very different these days. So should we talk about like what La Llorona is? Like how did she?
Yeah,
how did
let's
she,
do
Yes, of
that.
course.
Let's talk about her origin story, if you will.
Absolutely.
All
So-
right, so in West Philadelphia, born and raised. No,
On the playground, La Llorona spent most of her days.
so she's known as the Weeping Woman or the Woman in White. You know,
Yep.
she
She was a young woman. Her name was Maria, of course.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she was in love with a noblewoman.
Maria Xochitl,
or
spelled
nobleman. sorry.
Xochitl. That's Xochitl.
that's a mouthful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take,
anyway,
I'll
sorry.
take your word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce
That's
that.
Wikipedia. Thank you very much. I looked up how to pronounce it elsewhere, though.
There you go. So yeah, she was making eyes with a nobleman, and the dude liked her. He found her attractive and wound up marrying her. And it's not clear how many kids they have. They
Yeah,
had at least
no.
one
Some-
kid,
some say
maybe,
one, some
maybe
say
two.
two.
Yeah,
Who's
but there was
to
like
say?
they had some kids. And then he got bored of Maria. I don't know. I guess things, there just wasn't this chemistry that they thought there would be.
Yeah, she was this beautiful woman, but he'd had enough.
Yeah, he decided to leave. Of course, leaving her with the kids, as you do.
Pretty cool, dude.
The thing is too is he
that's a nice
left
thing to do.
for a noble woman as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so it's
Right.
just like
he's like, nah, you ain't pulling in six figures, baby. I'm out.
Yeah.
He was a ranchero or a conquistador, from what I
Yes.
could see. So I don't know exactly what that means, but I think that might mean, like, because these were colonial times when this kind of dates back to. Because I think this one dates back to. Is this like can be traced back to 1550 in Mexico City.
Yeah.
So this one traces back to those periods. So this he might have been some Spaniard who'd come across.
Yeah.
And she may have been a local or something
It
like
wouldn't
that.
surprise me.
Yeah.
Who's to say? I don't know.
That's how it usually goes, right? Is some like dashing foreign guy comes and takes advantage of the local girl. Yeah.
No
But anyways,
good.
So what you're saying, as a single man, I need to get out of Saskatchewan.
Nope. No one's saying that. No one is suggesting that.
No,
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
telling
hearing.
you to go to France.
That's
No.
what I'm hearing.
Anyway.
So he left, and this poor lady who was heartbroken, didn't know what to do. Arguably, she did not make the right decision. In her grief, she drowned her children and then
Seems like a
threw
good
herself.
call to me. I mean,
I get it.
and-
Understandable.
yeah.
That's what lots of people would have done that in that situation.
You know
Would
what?
have
I'm
immediately
just gonna
drowned their children in a
drown
river.
two
Yeah.
kids in a river.
That
Yeah.
seems like a way to get back at him.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
I don't know if it
Let's
was
just take two human lives.
I don't know if it was a good way to get back at him because he left the kids with her and he was like, "Hey, see ya." So he obviously didn't care that much.
Obviously, he didn't give a shit.
So she just drowned her own beloved children. But anyways, and then she drowned herself.
Yeah,
and,
out of allegedly the grief.
Exactly.
Because she realized what she'd done, and then she was like, "Oh no, what have I done?" And tried to bring him back,
how
and they were
hard it
drowned.
is to like
Yeah.
drown yourself. Your body is full of air. It just wants to float.
I mean, yeah, I feel like if you toss yourself in the deep end and you can't swim, or I don't know, I feel like if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah,
But not that I'm saying that there should be a will for that. But if there is, I'm sure she'll figure it out.
So-
but the rumor is that after doing this, she was denied entry into heaven,
Right.
and was forced to walk the earth basically
By the
in-
good Lord himself.
Exactly. God was like, "You are a heinous criminal."
Yeah, you gotta go. He sent her back because she had defined the souls of her children.
Yeah.
Today, she still wanders the earth looking for the souls of her children.
Would that be considered like purgatory? Because that's not being
Yeah,
sent
more or
to
less.
hell.
I would
Yeah.
consider that purgatory.
Yeah. I think it would
My
be.
honest opinion, ghosts are just people in purgatory, more or less. If you believe,
That's actually a solid theory. That didn't
Like,
occur to me.
yeah, it's very possible.
if you're a
that-
believer
If
in
you're a-
heaven,
if you're a
heaven,
believer.
hell, and purgatory,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
that's a.
Assuming that you already believe.
You
in
know
all these
what? I
things.
personally think that purgatory is actually hell because you're living on Earth, but you're unable to interact with anybody.
well,
or
the thing is though that she is, I guess, allegedly able to interact
yeah,
with people.
but I mean, like, it
People,
also
people claim they see her all the time anyway, whether they do or not.
yeah,
Who's to say?
But I mean, it's still spooky as all hell. How
Yeah.
how scared would you be if you were just walking by a river and you see a lady in white like
Oof.
wailing at you?
Yeah,
It's like,
just-
oh boy.
I mean, unless
I'm gonna
she's-
go ahead and leave.
Unless she's throwing Excalibur at me, I don't want it.
I'm very.
Man, what's Excalibur?
Yeah,
what
you
are we
know-
talking about?
The Legend of King Arthur. There's like the Lady of the Lake.
Oh,
Gave.
no, I
That's what
certainly
he's
did
getting
not
at,
know
Lady
She
of
that.
was
the Lake.
she was
Yeah.
a lady in white who gave Arthur Excalibur, crowning him as the king of all England.
You damn night dorks! I had no. Did both of you know
yeah,
this?
I'm aware of the
Where do you
Lady
guys
of the
know
Lake.
this from? What am I?
I'm just a
nerd, man.
Yeah, I'm just a nerd. I've always been a medieval history nerd.
Yeah, I love
You
medieval
should
stuff.
have seen Little Simon. Little Simon wanted to go back in time and live in the 1400s in a castle and be a knight and swing a sword
too.
and ride some fucking
God,
horses. and-
God love Little Simon.
Oh, yeah,
me
Little
too,
Simon was
buddy.
weird.
That was me all day.
You
I
boys,
loved
I
it.
just want to get in a dick-shaped rocket and launch off of the earth with my
You
my
wanted
$1 billion.
to Bezos out.
An
Yeah.
84-year-old woman and an 18-year-old and my brother.
Wow. I really wish that they had just denied him re-entry. That would have been great.
the Earth Federation.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like,
sorry,
yeah,
we've considered it, and you can reapply for a re-entry permit, but we're gonna need to leave you out there for a little bit.
We're gonna, I hope he brought some supplies because it's gonna take a year to do the
You know
paperwork.
he didn't.
Yeah.
You know he did.
He would just eat the 80-year-old woman.
He's
Might
already
be a
lizard
little
person.
bit sinewy and bony. Might not. I don't know. What are they cooking with on that? I don't
Dude.
think it's equipped for a whole lot, is it?
Spencer, lizards just tear things to pieces. It's
Oh
fine.
yeah, right. 'Cause
Right.
he's a lizard.
He's a
He-
lizard
he could
person.
probably just leave everyone else in there and
I
attempt
mean,
re-entry on his own.
You know what? I'm sorry, Daddy Bezos. we bought all of our recording equipment from you.
I can't say a fucking word. I just bought a bunch of cookbooks from him. So you know what?
Nothing better than just trash talking the shit out of a guy and buying everything in your
Continuing
household.
to give him hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. It used to be Walmart that everybody just like slammed, and now like Walmart's sitting in the background being like, remember when they hated me?
They're still so shitty.
Oh, sure they are. But
Walmart's labor practices, this is not the podcast for this, but I could go off about Walmart's labor practices. Anyways, we should probably, I mean, I guess I'm good talking about Daddy Bezos.
We can talk about whatever we want. It's our damn show.
So I just want to say, like, I think you already touched on this, but the irony of us like trashing Jeff Bezos, we bought every single thing that we're using for the podcast. Every single
the
thing
lights,
on Amazon.
like everything that
literally. I mean, except for your computer. But maybe
my
that
computer and all the furniture and stuff like that. But like every technical thing that makes this possible was purchased on Amazon.
Everything that I'm looking at here,
computer.
100% Amazon. So I guess thanks, Daddy Bezos. We owe you.
We respect your ability to launch on a dick-shaped rocket out of this earth, and we're very, very sorry. Please don't revoke our Prime memberships. That's very upsetting.
But just know we don't like you, and we think you're junk.
Speak for yourself.
You know what? All I want is for Jeff Bezos to treat his employees better. If he just paid them a living wage and let them use the bathroom,
buddy,
let them use the
I'm trying to get on Blue Origin.
I just want to factory work.
Yeah,
that's not gonna happen.
That's not okay.
That's how it works.
That's not okay.
My man's never worked in a damn factory.
We need a labor revolution. I'm telling you.
Oh boy, good luck.
Well, it's happening in the States with restaurants.
I see.
Welcome to Do Unions Be Real? The podcast all about unions.
But your boy here is a straight up communist, apparently.
He's the one in a union.
No, I was talking about me. But, yeah,
I'm very happy to be a member of my union.
Yeah.
Shout out QP47. What up? I probably shouldn't say that. Whatever. It is what it is.
It is what it is. No one's
don't matter. I'm
gonna hurt
doxing myself.
So the next one I want to actually talk about is a more murderous ghost.
Oh yes. Okay.
And this one is referred to as the slit-mouth woman.
Oh, is this the Japanese one?
Yeah, this one was the one I got really excited. I don't have this on
my list, but you best be attempting to pronounce that name.
Oh, that is not happening, my
Kuchisake-onna?
There you go.
There we go.
She's probably one of the most violent ghosts we have on our list today.
That's I loved reading this because I was like, damn.
Yeah,
like, holy
she's
shit.
A straight up
psycho.
Chill. Yeah. She'll fuck you up no matter what you do.
Yeah.
You do not want to run into her.
So what's the whole deal with her? She wears like a bandana or some sort of face covering.
So let's start this from the beginning.
Yeah, bring us back to the beginning, baby. Yeah.
She was a beautiful woman, but very self-conscious. So constantly asked people if she was pretty and
eventually she gained some self-confidence. It sounds like,
and married a very powerful samurai.
Yeah,
but she decided to have a little affair when he left the fight.
He went off to war and she got a little antsy.
She got lonely.
Yeah,
you know what? She when he returned though, he found out about the affair.
Yeah,
and I like your storytelling voice that you got going right now.
And slit her from ear to ear. Slit her from ear to ear, so like a big old Joker smile.
Yeah.
And why so serious?
And she was so like distraught from this, like disfiguring her, so no one could ever find her attractive again. That she committed suicide.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is where the origin story of this lady comes from.
So she is a vengeful spirit. She walks around only at night. And she covers her face with a fan or a mask, like some sort of ghostly visage.
Man, she was ahead of the curve compared to like now.
Yeah,
She was killing it.
She was. Yeah, you see her walking around in COVID times with her mask on.
She'd just be a normal lady.
You just everybody's walking past her. She doesn't even get the opportunity to ask you, like, do you think I'm beautiful?
Yeah, no.
Because that's her thing, right? She like approaches men and asks them if they think that she's beautiful, and if you say no, you get killed. But also, if you say yes, you get killed.
Well, this is my favorite. If you say no, she chops you in half with large scissors.
Woo! Where's she getting these scissors from?
And other versions, it's said to be a samurai sword.
I feel like a samurai sword is a little more believable.
It makes more sense.
I prefer the I prefer the grand opening at Sears large scissors.
I feel like that's almost like a Looney Tunes thing. Like
to me, that's more Silent Hill.
Yeah, did they say
just like a creepy lady just dragging a giant pair of scissors,
giant pair of like rusty scissors that say Acme on them?
Yeah, see, that's what I went with it. I went with like a Looney Tunes vibe, like like just carrying around a comically oversized pair of human shearing scissors.
And here's the worst part, though. If they say yes, she uses the same weapon to disfigure their face the same way she is.
Yeah.
Ah!
So if you think she's beautiful, she makes you beautiful too.
Oh.
I read
That's very
somewhere.
nice of her.
I didn't.
She's a nice lady.
I didn't do a whole heck of a lot of extra research on this one, but I did look it up, and I saw that possibly there is a way to weasel out of it, and it is by telling her that somehow or another convincing her that she is average looking, and you might get away based on that. I don't know if that's true with all versions of this.
So what
legend,
I'm hearing
but
is we're just gaslighting a ghost.
I guess so.
How do
I
you
don't know.
how do you convince a woman that she's average looking without it just going terrible? And
I mean,
like
when she asks if I'm beautiful, when she asks if she's beautiful, if anybody asks if they're beautiful and you just respond, man, woman. If anybody at all asks if they're beautiful and you're like, well, you're average looking, you would think that would maybe result in a negative result.
I would feel very bad about myself if anyone was like, hi, am I pretty? Do I look good? And I'm not like, I mean, I guess unless I really, like, I don't want to lie. If I really don't think so. But if it's like relatively like, you know, they're good, I'd be like, yeah, like you look great.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm telling people they look great almost every single time.
Yeah.
It'd be like, yo, you're jacked up. Almost feels just as bad as being like, yo, you're average.
I mean, it's just as
Like,
offensive.
who do I think I am? Who do most people
right.
think that they are to be tossing out average?
Right?
I'm not one to judge someone based on their looks because you know it's a
man.
double-edged sword. You
Oh,
hit them with the they're gonna hit you with the
Oh yeah.
So it just becomes a stalemate of who's actually uglier.
So to be
It's
polite,
usually
we're
me.
just
Yeah.
getting chopped in half for politeness' sake.
Exactly. Those damn Canadians.
No, you look great. Great. Now I just have
Oh,
a disfigured face. That's
Like,
my favorite thing.
Yeah. Oh, I knew that I shouldn't have said this, but I did it anyway. I just couldn't be mean to her.
Because disfigured face is better than getting sliced in half by a giant pair of
Yeah, I
scissors.
mean,
Yeah.
like, which way is she slicing you? She's slicing you like gut, or is she slicing you like head?
No, that's like
head to toe.
generally.
Like, are
if
you
you're-
going vertical or
I
are you
forget
going
what
horizontal?
the word is, but generally
Vivisected?
that's it.
Yeah,
Vivisected.
she sounds like a Cenobite from Hellraiser. Or
Cut in
something
half
like
is
that.
like waist. That's what I think. I think
Yeah.
like your legs
I
get
would think
chopped
that.
off.
Yeah.
I think like Spencer. I think you got it right. If you're cut in half vertically, you're vivisected.
Which
What did they
is
say?
pretty cool looking.
What did they?
That's
Oh,
pretty
God.
cool.
Listen, there are some photos online you can see of someone who donated their body to
I've-
science, so
I've
it's
been-
completely legal.
I've been to
And
that
then
exhibit, and I don't think any
so
of those
cool.
people actually donated their bodies to science. Are we talking like the body exhibit where all those bodies are plasticized and they have them all cut up? No, those are unclaimed Chinese corpses that were
that is very
plasticized
upsetting.
Wow.
and put in I saw it in I think the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas. They had it here actually
I
at Prairie for a
really
while.
hate that.
It toured North America, but there's. What the heck is it called? I want to say it's called the Inside You exhibit, but definitely Inside You is just something that. Do you guys see that movie Split? No, Splice. Splice. That's what it was.
Oh no, I didn't.
I've
Anyway,
heard of
these people have it's not worth going into. There's an alien. They raise an alien, and then
It's a
there's
whole
all
to-do.
kinds of
Oh,
stuff. and then
I think I have.
there's
heard of that,
some
actually, yeah.
horrifying part where. I don't need to get into it, but anyway, the alien does some unsavory things and says "inside you."
That sounds like butt stuff.
Yeah, it's something to that
Excuse
effect.
me, are you shaming people that are into butt stuff?
This is
No,
an
I just said
alien. You're
it's-
allowed to shame aliens,
Yeah.
I think, until they come down and prove their existence, and we're gonna have a whole set of rules on that.
You
But
know
we
what?
don't know what the etiquette is yet for
Yeah.
aliens.
I'm
so.
just
I
gonna
don't
leave
know.
them be. If they leave me be, I'll leave them be. That seems like a good.
I'm
move.
Man, we're
I'm-
gonna be leaving them be because
I'm
we
into
don't know
some,
how to do anything else.
Yeah, we're too dumb to talk to them.
That's
But-
what you think.
Us
Maybe
specifically.
Yeah.
us. Who are the greatest minds? Who are the greatest broadcasting minds that you can
These three boys
that
right
we can
here.
talk to with the aliens they send us, and we just immediately get vaporized.
Oh yeah. If you guys have seen Arrival, we would have killed the whole world.
You
We're
know
like
what? To be fair,
What's-
good.
Good.
What is Leia's home planet that gets vaporized by the Death Star?
Alderaan?
Yeah, we're gonna turn Earth into Alderaan if they send us to make contact.
Whoops.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make a treaty with Darth Vader, and we just convince him to blow us up.
Just do it. I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
Yeah.
You coward.
You can't do it, you pussy.
Jesus Christ. Just
Do it, Vader.
yeah, let's bully a guy who can choke people with his mind. That's a great idea.
I mean, I feel like he might be able to.
Do Darth Vader be real?
I fucking hope Darth Vader be real.
I hope not. That's terrifying.
I don't care.
Well, I mean, that's history, right? In a long
it's a long time ago.
A long time ago in
man.
a galaxy far, far away.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's
exactly.
history. I thought those were history. Those movies aren't historically accurate?
Oh no, they are.
Oh,
Okay.
I got to hit you guys with another one from Thailand.
Please do.
This one is an interesting one. She just pretty much died in childbirth. That's the whole story.
That's no good. That's sad.
Oh.
I can't pronounce the name, and I don't want to butcher
No,
it.
no,
but
no.
I'm
You
going
better
to-
take an attempt.
Her name is Maynock.
Yeah, I'm glad someone knows how to say
Now,
it.
I mean, of all the ones that you could have taken an attempt and taken a chance on, you didn't take a chance on that one?
No,
That sounds pretty phonetic to me.
I'm just such an idiot. I don't want to mess it up.
Man, no, you got it, but it's okay.
So, she did nothing wrong other than essentially dying during childbirth.
Yeah.
But the thing is her husband was away at a war against the
Shan people.
the
in
Myanmar people.
Yeah.
When he was gone, she died during childbirth.
Yep.
When he gets home, he's surprised to find her sleeping beside her son. He didn't realize she was a ghost.
Ooh.
Apparently, he found out when she went to go grab a lime, and her arm just stretched like an inhuman distance.
So does
across the
she
room.
even know that she's a ghost? She does. Well, I mean,
she
she has all
must.
these ghost powers.
I think
Yeah.
she knows. Yeah.
She's become Elastigirl from The
excited-
Incredibles.
I'm so excited for when I die to have ghost powers.
I
You
wonder
have
if this
no
girl
idea.
also had a dump truck of an ass.
as Disney seems to want to do. Disney Pixar, like
Exactly.
We all want to hope so.
Yeah, in my headcanon, she does.
I like that.
But, after losing her husband a second time, because, she died.
We should
Wait,
say,
wait. So did she continue to be a ghost and
Yeah,
do
she-
household
Yeah,
stuff?
well, what happened was when he realized that she was a ghost, he shit his
ran
pants.
away.
He shit his pants
Yeah.
and left.
Oh,
he left
man.
he left a brown trail.
Nothing better than doing a poo pants and running off.
So then she lost her husband a second time.
Yeah, so she kind of went crazy and terrorized members of her village.
Okay.
Until she was caught in a clay jar.
Yep.
Years later, a fisherman found the clay jar and set her free.
We should say that they sealed the clay jar and buried it in the river.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And
A
then
river burial is a serious burial. If you were like going into the river,
Words are hard.
sorry
huh?
guys, I got a heat stroke from trimming a tree with our boy Andrew Tamman.
Yep.
Anyway, my brain is mush. So
That's okay.
if you're burying something in a river,
Oh, they knew it was serious. They
yeah,
were
it's
like,
serious.
We're gonna hide this fucking thing. But then some dumbass fisherman pulled it out and was like,
You
"Oh,
gotta-
what's this?"
You got to do some dredging. You got to
Yeah,
go underneath
he-
there and go into the ground under the
So,
river.
Yeah.
so she is free. So I'm not sure.
She still exists.
That's kind of where the story sort of ends. There's not really any context after the
Well,
fisherman.
I imagine there are
finds her.
lots of sightings and stuff like that.
I would say
for
so.
this story to still be prevalent.
I would say so. I'd say it's a pretty, and she's terrorizing villages and what have you. But again, a lady in white.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So
And there's there's so many.
there's so many.
Like we could talk about the
countless.
Guatemalan one. We could talk about the Central American one.
There's so many.
I've got another good one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've got one from the Philippines, and I don't speak Tagalog, so
Oh,
so
yeah.
I apologize if I make any sort of mispronunciations. I don't know if this one is actually on that, so I think
Yeah,
this
I
might
don't
be
know.
me taking
No,
this
it's
one
just you,
because I launched into this one, but the Philippines have a very long, rich history of mythos and superstition because the Philippines, for years and years and years, like they've had colonialism from all sorts of different people. They've
Pretty
been
much.
colonized by Buddhists, they've been colonized by Hindus, they've been colonized by Christians. So their beliefs.
Yep.
And like the various various stories and stuff like that are part of the culture there are wide-reaching and
Yep.
very interesting and very specific to
and,
that place.
I was talking to one of the Filipino guys when I was at my work, and he said, the cool thing is every village has sort of a story or a boogeyman or something. So like that might be a topic that we can dive into in the future.
That's actually a good idea.
I
Absolutely.
would love to do a full episode on just that area.
It seems very rich
Yeah.
in stories
Yes.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And not to mention history.
Absolutely.
Like, it's huge.
Oh my god, you know what we have to do an episode on?
What?
Fan death.
Fan death. What's
Yeah, we got
that?
an episode of fan death. You never heard of fan death?
I've never heard of fan death.
So-
Before we get into the
Yeah, sorry,
Philippines
sorry,
white lady,
go
let's hear about fan
Okay,
death.
so there's a legend in South Korea is
Okay.
that if you sleep with a running fan, you will die. It's called fan death, and the fan will kill you. So
I've slept with a fan a lot of times.
So you can't sleep with a fan on in South Korea. Like, I've heard about this from people who have dated Korean girls, and they will not let you put a fan on when you're sleeping at night. They think it will kill you.
You know, as
This
a
is a
man
real
who
thing.
likes dead silence in his room when he's sleeping,
You get it?
I respect it.
See, I can deal with noise, but it's got to be constant noise. If it's like someone talking or like a TV show, it'll keep me up. If it's music, it'll keep me up. But if it's like something constant, like a fan, that'll keep me.
I love a fan while I'm sleeping.
You know
If
what?
I like running water.
I just like the
running water.
noise of my ears ringing.
I think that's called tinnitus. my friend.
I've had that for a very long time.
Oh man,
My ears always be ringing.
We gotta get you some earplugs, my man. The damage might be done though.
The damage is done.
Who's
yes.
to say?
The ears do be ringing though.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Do
that
ears
is,
be ringing? Yes. The answer is always.
Yes, they unfortunately
Always.
do.
They never stop.
man, that is no good. And my condolences to you.
Sounds like you could use a fan while you're sleeping.
yeah, that would
Right?
help. Probably break up some of that.
Yeah.
What? No one likes high pitched squealing in their ears.
Yeah.
Like that?
I'm a huge fan of my dehumidifier. That guy
yeah.
makes some
Yeah.
loud noise, so that's
I'm
what
a-
I
I'm a
use.
Some
fan of-
blubs.
I'm a fan of my HEPA filter. I
Oh.
love that thing.
I wish I had a HEPA filter. If for anybody that lives in Saskatchewan or Western Canada right now, the whole place is on fire.
Yeah,
so everything's
we're getting
smoky
hit by
everywhere.
smoke like no one's business.
I just replaced the filters in my HEPA filter.
They're
and
black, probably.
They were literally black.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
After all the smoke, I just replaced them,
Yeah.
and they're nice and shiny white now, and it smells so good down there, nice and clean air.
Sweet.
So yeah, I definitely recommend picking up one of
yeah,
those.
I have one
Yeah.
in my room as well.
That's fantastic. Anyway,
Let's
as
go
much
back.
as I love talking about all this madness, we're just happy, folks. We're just happy to be back in
Yeah,
each other's presence again. We took a little break, and
It's been a hot minute.
we're probably going to do that from time to time. Mostly, we're going to do our best to like release these on Tuesdays, but every once in a while, hey, things happen. We got to
Yeah.
be all over the place. So.
There are some podcasts who release every week on the dot for years and years, and as much as we want to be able to do that, like we all have
Sometimes life
lives, we have
happens.
relationships,
Yeah.
life happens, and
we all have relationships.
well,
Get out of here with that junk.
okay.
Get out of here with that junk.
I have faith in you, Brett.
Well,
know
that
what-
makes one of us.
We're gonna find you the
find-
right person.
A
for
nice
sure.
spooky wife.
We're gonna find you a nice just.
We're gonna find you a nice normal wife who is maybe the right degree of
She
spooky.
could maybe be a little bit
a
spooky.
little spooky is
Yeah,
okay.
You gotta.
Maybe we could find you a ghost wife. Like what's her name again? Maynock. We could
Maynock?
find you.
Yeah,
we could
with
find
that-
you a
with
ghost
that
wife.
nice-
Find me a
she's got
nice
that-
stretch arm.
The
strong
problem
wife.
the problem though is that she can't grab limes.
Yeah, well, I mean, she can.
Well, she can. It'll just freak
Oh,
me
she
out.
was
a little
grabbing.
bit.
No,
she
she
was
was.
able to manipulate that.
Yeah, she could, and her arm stretched like across the house or something, and her
I'm
husband
not
was
really.
like, "Oh shit."
I'm not really seeing the problem here.
Yeah,
Well,
it
he's
only
just-
seems like a benefit.
He's
to
just
me,
he's
really.
just a prude.
He
That's what it
sounds
comes
like a
down to.
whiner.
Yeah,
Seems like
yeah.
a real.
She was committed enough that even in death, she came on
Dude.
back and
Oh, yeah.
continued to
ease
live with him.
troughs. There's no ladder involved. She just stretch on,
She's
strongs her
cleaning
way
it out.
up there.
If he had some spectrophilia going on, that
She-
would have been a
she-
different relationship.
Yeah, we'll get into spectrophilia at some point. I'm sure that episode will not air on Shaw, probably.
I hope it does, but it will not.
Anyway, spectrophilia. Feel free to look that one up, folks. That's I don't know if we've ever talked about that.
we
But that's a
have.
wild one.
If
We
we
have.
tiptoe around the topic just enough, I think we'll be able to pull it off.
We're not
Oh,
gonna
boy.
tiptoe. We're gonna go.
We're diving deep.
We're gonna go balls deep into spectrophilia.
What a way to put
Much
that.
like, never mind. You can look it up.
Fantastic. Anyway, so in the Philippines, white lady ghosts are called caparosa.
okay.
I don't know exactly what that means. I think it just means white ladies. Who's to say?
I don't know.
But so there is this road on in Quezon City
Okay.
called Baleta Drive, and there's a tree called the Baleta tree, which I guess for years and years people had already kind of thought that this road was particularly spooky and that spirits had lived in the trees because the Baleta tree is very large and provides a lot of shade. So it was a very dark road. But the story here is that at one point, there are a couple versions of this story. One version is that a young woman was walking down Baleta Drive and was killed by a taxi cab. And they hid her body underneath a Baleta tree nearby. And the other rendition is that this is a very cab driver specific ghost story.
Man, cab drivers in the Philippines.
Yeah. They got one specific ghost who's got it out for them.
Yeah.
But the other story is that a cab driver may have sexually assaulted, then murdered this young woman, and then buried her under a boleto tree.
Well, that's much worse.
Nearby. Horrible, horrible, horrible story. Regardless, one way or another, the story is that a young woman was done very wrong by a cab driver, and driving down this street at night often, and it's been reported numerous times by cab drivers in the area, that they'll pick up a young woman dressed all in white, and she'll get in, and they're like, these are professionals. These are people who, like cab drivers do, they're looking forward. They're living their lives, and they're they do this day in, day out. But so they're not like immediately looking and gawking at who's in the back seat.
Yeah,
but
sure.
when they do get a moment, and they maybe they check their rear view, they see this very beat up woman who's got all kinds of damage to her face and stuff, and
like a corpse.
She looks like a corpse. She's very spooky looking. And what happens is the driver sees this lady ghost, flips out, runs out of their cab, and that's I guess what this story is. And now, this story is still widely believed. Some people do believe that in 1953, somebody made this, a reporter made this story up just for, interest's sake.
Sure.
But also, apparently that is a local rumor as well.
Right.
So neither things are actually confirmed. So is this real? Did this actually happen? Or is this a rumor? In any case, if you're a cab driver in the Philippines and you happen to live in Quezon City, you may be familiar with this particular ghost.
If you're driving down that road at 2 a.m, maybe don't pick up the spooky lady.
What?
Just don't pick up anybody. Just lock your doors.
Just don't do your
drive
job.
around.
Really,
don't do your job.
It really spiked something when you talked about that, because I've seen a video, and this is like, I don't know if it was Philippines exactly. I can't remember.
You saw yourself a caparosa?
Yeah, the video is just a lady gets into a cab wearing white, and then she just kind of is sort of opaque in the background, and the cab driver isn't thinking anything of it, right?
Sure.
He's just driving. Actually, no, he doesn't pick her up. What it is he's driving, and then a lady in white just pops into the back of his cab. He is not paying attention,
right.
But he has a camera, right, for safety, for safety's sake, for his own safety, right? And she just materializes in, and like you said, looks beat all to hell,
right?
And then materializes out. And I think it was on a Nuke's Top 5 video that I saw it.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm pretty sure I've seen something similar to that.
She's going around, and whether she's seeking vengeance or whether she isn't seeking vengeance, I'm not entirely certain.
You know what?
But one way or another,
I'd like to think she's just enjoying spooking cab drivers.
Maybe that's just it. She's
as a man who hasn't had great experiences with cabs, I get it. I get it.
I don't know where this is coming from, but
it's nothing against them. It's just being
you don't like a nice high fare.
Being way overcharged to drive 10 blocks.
Oh yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Well, or you could walk the 10 blocks.
I could, but I'm also shit-faced, so there's that.
Fair enough.
That'll happen.
So there's that small little thing of
all these spooky ghosts out there. You don't want to be walking home.
I'm more afraid of people than ghosts.
That is also fair, depending on where you are.
I'm genuinely more terrified of people than I am of ghosts.
Yeah.
At least ghosts
depends on the ghost, from what I understand.
If they're throwing stuff across the room, I might get a little bit more annoyed with them, but
what if it's Maynock with her dump truck booty?
Hey, if she wants to grab all the limes, she can. I'm all for it.
Juggling limes and looking like a Pixar character.
If anything, that sounds like the perfect wife. I mean, she might be a ghost.
You said you were looking for a spooky wife.
She's helpful.
She can grab my limes any day.
Oh no.
I love it.
Oh boy.
I love it. Oh man.
I wonder if this one's gonna go on Shaw.
Who's to say?
Yeah.
In any case, he's looking at you, Eric. Yeah, that's one of the many ghost stories that takes place in the Philippines.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna have to do a deeper dive on the Philippines, because it sounds like there's quite a lot going on.
Yeah, there's lots of folklore,
some spooky stuff happening in the Philippines,
and I would really like to talk to some of my Filipino pals about it, because they'll know more.
They probably have some interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I would love to talk to them about that, because I know My buddy Ferdinand, shout out Ferdinand, listens to the show.
What up, Ferdinand?
So I really appreciate you telling me this, because this is going to send us on a deep dive of just the Philippines, because as a culture, I'm already interested in it. It's like pretty wild.
Yeah, one day I'd love to go to Manila.
I love the food.
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
the Philippines is a cool
Oh,
place.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm looking to get me an ube cake, a nice purple cake.
Yeah, man.
Wasn't there a rumor that the Philippines was going to become like the 52nd state or something?
I have not heard that, but that is interesting.
At some point, there was
like I think
around.
yeah, because especially like in World War II, America like basically colonized the Philippines.
It seems like that's happened a lot of times.
Yeah.
Sorry, Philippines.
I mean, for them, it was like it was definitely
people keep
willing.
coming in and bothering them.
Yeah, I mean, first it was
Man, I
Japan.
get it.
First it was Japan bothering the Philippines, and that was ugly. That was
was
not the
not
kind of
so
bothering
nice.
you want. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
boy.
that was not good.
I mean, all the Americans really brought was American stuff in pool. 'Cause
Yeah.
all the best pool players
Yeah.
are Filipinos.
Oh yeah, they were very happy
They're
to have
amazing.
the Americans there, and the British. We should say that the British actually were fighting in the Philippines for a long, long time.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
But this is not a World War II podcast,
No,
as much
no,
as
no.
I would want it to be.
that might come out on our network very soon.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Simon's World War II podcast. I love
yeah.
it. You
Oh,
can just
I'll-
tell us all about that.
I would talk about World War II
Man,
for days.
I'll just sit here with my legs crossed listening, because I'm into it.
We'll just turn it into an NPR podcast, and I'll just talk really nice and quietly about
Oh, no.
fantastic stories from World War II.
Oh,
And
man.
nobody will do any interrupting.
And no one will listen to it.
Oh.
Spencer won't be on this
You know what,
podcast
guys?
because he can't stop interrupting.
we do have a white lady in Canada.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's
Oh,
talk about
really?
the Canadian one.
Yeah.
Hit us with that one.
So it takes place in Montgomery Falls, Quebec. So
All right, shout out Montgomery Falls. What up?
it sounds like it was a young woman whose fiance died.
Fighting for, against the British.
Yeah.
Yeah, fighting for our independence. Not really, because we just asked for our independence. But they were
you know,
fighting against the British.
Yeah.
In the Battle of Beauport. I think that's how it's pronounced. She was heartbroken that her husband or her lover had died in this battle. And she went to the top of a waterfall where they used to hang out. It was their spot. You know, they would be secluded from the world and have their private time and just spend time together. And in her grief, she went to that spot and she threw herself off the waterfall.
The most important part to be noted is she was wearing her wedding dress.
And she
when
was
died.
wearing her wedding dress when she
So,
died. Yeah.
Woman in
There we
white.
go.
So now,
Yeah.
now she haunts the area, and it's a local legend that if you go up there at night, you might see a sad lady in a wedding dress waiting for her.
God, I don't
her
want to
husband.
see
It's
anybody
amazing how
sad.
many of these are very like water central as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
Like
I
I've got
noticed
another
that.
one here.
Yeah.
They all seem to be. I mean, not every single one of them is water central. Well, you know what? There's water involved in each of them. Even in the Maynock,
Yeah.
or however we pronounce that. I sure hope I'm not butchering that.
I mean,
but they
we
buried that
almost certainly
urn.
are, but
in the
Yeah,
water.
we're
yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
mispronouncing it. But they buried that in the water. La Llorna. Sorry, not La Llorna. That's a bit of Saskatchewan
She
coming out
drowned
of me.
her kids
She drowned
kid
her
and
kids
or
in-
kids in the
Yeah.
water, and,
Yep.
and then herself. So
And then we
And
have
then-
the Lady of the Lake from our first story that
Yep.
kind of launched us into this.
and we also have I'm gonna butcher this one.
Take a swing. Come
La
on.
Siganaba in Central America. So this is the Aztec rain god Tlaloc, a young woman who her job was to wash clothes in her village.
Okay.
Her name was
Water. Good.
Sihualtil. I can't pronounce this
Oh,
one.
it's all right.
I'm sorry.
Simon doesn't have a lot of Mayan.
Yeah, I don't exactly.
Mayan,
I don't have a lot of Mayan knowledge. Like
no.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so this girl, she fell in love with Tlaloc's son, Yisan, and they had a son together. His name was Sipitio. And one day she hoped that their son would become heir to the throne of the Aztec rain god Tlaloc. She found out that he was not going to become the heir for the throne, and she lost interest in caring for her son, and didn't care about him anymore, and started sleeping around a little bit. And Tlaloc did not like that. He thought that was an affront to him, and so
Even though he wasn't going to do anything with that.
yeah, he
son?
wasn't going to do
My
anything.
man's was ticked.
But he still wanted the respect shown, you know. So
Right,
I get it.
because
As you do.
he's the rain god, he deserves respect. So so she gave her the head of a horse for all eternity.
Oh.
So she's just the body of a woman and the head of a horse, and if you see her, you it says that she would take her victims to a cliff, where she would draw unfaithful men in with her her beautiful figure and try to seduce them.
And her head of a horse.
Well, apparently
She's just hiding that horse.
says that
What a gorgeous horse that is. It's like some sort of BoJack Horseman sort of stuff.
So all she's doing is luring unfaithful men and horse girls.
yeah, exactly.
That's all that's happening.
Horse folk and unfaithful men are getting chucked off a cliff.
Yeah,
Is that what's happening?
That's what's happening. So it says that she
geez.
stands with her back turned to her victims so that they can't see her horse head.
Okay,
But
how
Yeah,
does
that-
it's really easy to when I turn
she
around. If
just-
I have a horse head and I turn around, it's really easy to
Yeah,
obscure a
you
horse
can-
head.
I'm
She
just
must
saying,
have
does
that.
she also have the neck of a horse?
I don't think so.
I'm
I think she
thinking it's
just
just
had-
a long.
What?
I don't think she had the huge horse
Oh, she
neck.
just had
Okay.
the face. Okay,
I think she
got
just
it.
had the horse face.
This was
Yeah.
just Sarah Jessica
Yeah, I
Parker.
was just about to make the same joke.
Oh jeez, what
Oh lordy.
a garbage joke that I definitely probably stole from somewhere.
So she stands with her back to the victim, her back to the victim, and then when she turns around, she paralyzes the men by the sight of her head and
Oh.
face, and then they fall to their deaths from fear.
I
Jeez.
thought, with the horse face, I thought she would kick them.
Well, she's still just the body of a woman. She just has the horse face.
Oh,
But
man.
so apparently you can just stomps them to death.
Yeah.
I wonder if she has hooves. Probably
We
not.
can only hope.
Uh,
She's some sort
I
of
didn't-
weird
I didn't-
centaur hybrid.
I didn't know you were into that, Brett.
Hey, different strokes for different
Yeah,
folks,
there you
baby.
go. I did, yeah. Okay, so apparently young men can avoid being taken under her spell if you have to bite into a cross or you have to carry a machete to ward off her wrath.
Those are two very different things.
Yeah, those are very different things.
That's interesting.
But I suspect
Very
that
funny.
just as Kira says here, just not being a dick and being faithful to your significant other would probably
you won't
do
you
the
won't
trick.
get horse paralyzed off a cliff.
Yeah,
Man,
Yeah.
that seems like a pretty easy task to accomplish, honestly.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
a good boy, and you won't get a horse paralyzed off a cliff.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
anyone knows anything about all three of us, is that we are in fact good boys.
We try to be
yeah,
good boys.
I try to be good boys.
yeah.
I've been told that's a bad thing before.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
My,
I'm sorry to hear that.
My ex-girlfriend said that she was like, "Yeah, you're not enough of a bad boy." And then
Oh.
that
What
What
was
does that even mean?
We'll-
I don't know
we'll-
what that means.
We'll spice Simon up. We gotta get him. We'll get him.
Listen.
Nice
All
and
you
spicy.
need is a nice mental health problem,
There you
and
go.
women love you.
You know,
We're
I think
joking.
I think
They
I
do
just
not
need to
like that.
work out for like 4 hours a day and just get a bunch of tattoos.
Get
And then
beefed
just-
up and get some nice tribals on your back.
Yeah.
We don't know anyone who looks like that.
Excuse me.
You know what you need?
Pardon.
You need that shirt that Brett has right now.
Yeah.
That's a bad
Yeah,
boy
Brett,
shirt.
you
Brett,
gotta-
you gotta show the
You gotta
camera
show the
that
camera
shirt.
that shirt.
Man,
It's
front.
a beautiful
Is
shirt.
that Thor?
Front and back.
Who-
No,
who's
sir.
to say?
It looks like
It's
Thor.
a 1995
Oh, wow.
liquid blue barbarian shirt, and it is
Okay.
the coolest shirt I have ever seen in my
this
life.
is a gift from Spencer 2 years ago for my birthday.
Nice.
It's a
And
nifty
This
ass
only
shirt.
comes out on the finest of occasions.
This is Brett's formal wear.
this
Yes.
is my formal wear. It's like this or a button down.
We dress up today because it's been so long.
That's
we had
right.
To, we had to make
I had
it
to
a
look.
special.
We sure
I had
did.
to look nice for the people.
We wanted to
yeah.
make it nice. I've got another. Unless you have any more about that one, I got another
Nope,
one for
nope,
you.
You go right ahead.
Back in the United States, we've got in San Francisco the Lady Ghost of Golden Gate Park / Stowe Lake,
Wow, I hadn't heard of this one.
a Victorian era woman apparently was boating with her baby,
Oh.
and somehow or another, I think she kind of wasn't paying attention. Her baby drowned, and out of grief, she drowned herself.
Another water story.
Another water story.
So much water sports involved in this
So,
episode.
yeah, so many just like inattentive people around. Well, I mean, not all of this was inattention. A lot of this was
I hate when
intentional
I
hate
child
when you
homicide.
I hate when you accidentally drowned your baby.
Apparently,
Oh.
this one was unintentional, though. But this ghost is seen arising from the water or floating above the lake, and this one's being consistently reported for over 100 years.
Wow.
In 1908, the San Francisco Chronicle wrote about an article about 2 different couples who reported seeing this woman.
Wow.
So it's been going on for a while, but when people see her, she's soaking wet and she's going around and asking, "Have you seen my baby?"
Oh,
So,
that's
but
heartbreaking.
but this is an interesting
I'm gonna
concept.
be very
actually,
upset if a lady just floats across the river to me and asks if you can. Do you know where my baby's at? No, lady.
What's the right answer to that?
apparently
No.
the thing about her is that if you respond to her, she doesn't actually respond in any way. She appears to be almost completely unaware of anything.
Oh.
And this is an interesting thing that I found while researching this. Somebody was talking about the difference between a residual haunting and an intelligent haunting.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So a residual haunting apparently is the result of a traumatic event that causes like a memory to replay in a building or an area. So you know how like when you walk into a place and you're like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, this place just feels weird."
Yeah.
That's what people are attributing that to in this like paranormal kind of community anyway.
So I hate to like relate this to any sort of mental health problem, but that sounds very much like post-traumatic stress disorder.
I guess,
Where-
but PTSD for a place, maybe.
Yeah,
because this is
exactly.
like, I guess if a building or a lake
building
could
has
have PTSD.
a memory, right? Like if it
Yeah.
has an energy or a memory, like this is why you walk into a place, and
Right.
you're like, I feel uncomfortable.
And there's actually a theory that was attributed. Well, it got a name in 1972, named after a BBC drama called The Stone Tape. They call it Stone Tape Theory.
Okay.
Where like a lot of and I imagine while we're going through a lot of these different hauntings and all that sort of googa, we're gonna find these residual hauntings where it's like a ghost who doesn't really interact with anybody but just kind of shows up and
just
doesn't do
exists.
anything.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and but apparently that theory existed far earlier, just basically where something bad happens and has a feeling. That's what happens, and it's
Okay.
not
Yeah.
attributed to a specific spirit or a ghost, and it's not dangerous. And that's what a lot of people suggest that this lady of Golden Gate Park / Stowe Lake is a residual haunting versus an intelligent haunting, which is a ghost, obviously, that can interact with the physical world, touch people, move stuff,
Gotcha.
fuck around,
Yeah.
is a ghost and not a memory. Carries their intelligence from
Right.
their life into...
Whereas the other one is just like an
after.
imprint, like
Yeah.
like an
Yeah.
echo,
Which is
an echo in the force.
kind of nuts to
Ooh.
think about because it's like, I know we get all over the place at this podcast, but
We sure do.
if you're a big
that's why I like
believer
it.
in simulation theory, it's like, oh, that just seems like a glitch.
That'd be
Yeah.
a glitch. That was
Just that is bad code.
somebody updated something and forgot to take something else out.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So like,
God just forgot to add a semicolon in front of that line.
you know what? the thing I like about
Where my code dudes at? Where my code dorks at?
like the thing I really like about all the stuff we've talked about today is the fact that they're so varying, but the common theme seems to be water.
It does.
There's only a couple that aren't really water based
Yeah.
or have
Well-
anything to do with
Well,
water.
there's one that is the exact opposite. There's no name for this lady. It's just the white lady from the Netherlands. But this lady, it was the day of her wedding, and it was going to be in a barn, and the barn burned to the ground with her inside it. And her spirit still haunts the area of her death. She wants revenge on the nobleman who caused the fire. So that one is like the one
Yeah.
that I found that like actually
Just
isn't.
is
It's like complete
fire.
opposite. That one's
Yeah.
just
Right.
straight up fire. But most of these are water. Yeah.
I do-
Although some of them are just like racism. Like there was one in Brazil, the white lady in Brazil, the ghost of a young woman who was killed by her father for being involved with men of other races.
Ooh,
He didn't like that.
that's no good.
And he straight up murdered her.
That's
Um,
not
yikes.
progressive
Yeah,
at all.
not progressive at
That's
all.
not what 2021 is about.
Oh no, not at all. I don't think it ever should have been about that.
No.
but,
No,
but
you
you know, there you go. That's what happened. But yeah, a lot of these are water based, which I
Yeah.
didn't expect, and that's very interesting.
It's weird, hey? Like it's very very weird.
Lots of wet white lady ghosts.
Like wet and just trauma over kids or a marriage. It seems to be the case. Like I mean, you just dying over there.
I'm not gonna say it.
He's got a naughty boy
I'm
thing
not
he
gonna
wants
say
to
it.
say, but
It's not gonna happen.
he's being good for all the people out there.
It's not gonna happen.
Someday people will pay us money and we'll get a Patreon going, and then we'll
Yeah.
have the naughty boy ghost
Yeah,
sessions.
we'll have the private one with a disclaimer that says if you take us seriously, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Please don't call our jobs.
yeah. Please don't tell my boss.
Yeah, please don't tell anybody that
Yeah.
it might.
Please don't put this on Twitter. I don't want to get canceled.
Please don't contact my relatives.
If you do, they'll just laugh in your face.
Yeah. Yeah.
And anyway, do we have any other like really important white lady ghosts, or should we wrap this one up? Because I think we're getting pretty close to the
we're
end
getting
here.
close to the end here. And
I
think
actually
it's-
do have a few more that I went into significant detail on, but
Yeah,
we
for sure.
don't have to do that. There are 3 from Germany.
Okay.
From various, like, they seem to haunt various prominent castles, in Germany. But we don't have to talk about that. I can't
Cancelling's
talk
on
to
your
it.
mind.
Yeah,
Man, I've been
cancelling is on my
stuttering
mind.
this
Yeah,
whole time.
no,
My brain
it's-
has been just turned into mush.
So this one's interesting. We'll just quickly go into this. This one's called the Tudor House. It's in Salford. This house is apparently 820 years old.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's an old house. If you Google the Tudor House, it is beautiful. It's absolutely
Cool.
beautiful. And apparently, it was involved in the Guy Fawkes and Robert Gatsby scheme to overthrow King James, which is commonly known as the Gunpowder Treason and Plot. If you've ever seen, oh my God,
V for
V
Vendetta?
for Vendetta. Yeah, it's kind of about that. Now that this house doesn't appear in the movie, but supposedly this is where they came up with the scheme. So the only real thing to hear about the ghost is that apparently there's a white lady who inhabits this house.
Oh.
She appears in the Great Hall, which is called the Star Chamber, and is apparently Queen Elizabeth I's maid of honor. Her name is Margaret Radcliffe. She died of a broken heart in 1599 following the death of her twin at sea, who was named Alexander.
Oh.
Apparently, she's still there. Reported sightings of the White Lady take place in the Great Hall. She appears next to the portrait of her twin. She'll usually wander the halls
cool.
carrying a candle.
She's a very faithful to her brother ghost.
Yeah. There's been sightings of a young girl on the stairs.
Step ghost,
as well
what
as,
are you doing?
Oh God.
I'll cut it out. I'll quit playing.
Apparently people can hear like tapping and bangs, and if you try to talk to her, she'll almost like communicate in Morse code. And I wonder, I'm not going with this. No, I'm not gonna do it. Apparently there are reports of people being touching or grabbed. So those people are asking, Step ghost, what are you doing? Apparently people can also hear strange whispers and unexplained scents. So it's like ghostly asthma.
Yeah.
In 2004, TV's Most Haunted visited the hall and reported numerous accounts of supernatural and poltergeist activity, including moving tables, strange noises, light anomalies, and one of the crew was grabbed by an unknown force.
Spooky.
The molester ghost.
Yeah, I hate being grabbed by ghosts. I don't know.
like it.
I don't know. I don't think you
I don't
guys
like
have
it
ever
either.
experienced that, but
I have not.
it is
No,
a
sir. I have yet
weird
to
feeling.
experience such a thing. But I hope to.
So Orsdale Hall has a ghost cam set up. If
Oh.
you search the Tudor House ghost cam, you
Cool.
can
So is
go
that a
online.
live stream?
It is a live stream.
That's
You
pretty
can
cool.
go online and you can view a live feed of the hall and see if you can see
Well,
any
I know what
spooky
I'm
activity.
doing when I can't sleep at night.
Just gonna watch an empty hall.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
maybe see some ghosts.
If I see a ghost, great. If I don't,
Yeah.
then you know what? That's
I spent a
also
bunch
fine.
of time watch. It's just a
Yep.
static image.
Yep.
Hey,
So I have one more.
okay.
So this is the White Lady of Kinsale. This is also in County Cork, which is where Sophie got murdered.
Right.
Yeah, so this is apparently like a ghost-heavy area. So this is the southern coast of County Cork. Now I'm a history nerd, so I'm just going to briefly touch on this. So in the 9 Years' War between England and Ireland, this fort called Charles Fort was built on the east coast of Kinsale Harbour. It's a star fort. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like one of the most easily defendable designs for a fort.
Okay.
It basically looks like a star, and it creates overlapping fields of fire.
Okay.
So this is one of the probably most intact and most well-developed star forts that still exist today. And it defended the harbor. Interesting points about this is the walls were 18 feet thick and could resist direct cannon fire. And the moat the harbor had a spiked underwater chain that normally sat on the bottom. And when they wanted to defend the harbor, they would just crank it up.
Pull it up.
Sat just underneath the water line, so you couldn't see it, and ships would just smash
Absolutely
themselves
ruin themselves
against it. Yeah, so this was a
pretty
very
cool.
very well developed, very well defended harbor. So it was a British barracks until it was surrendered to the Irish following the Anglo-Irish Treaty of 1921. The fort was burned by retreating forces and then fell out of use. But it is still one of the best examples of a star fort in Europe.
Cool.
It was declared an Irish monument. It's apparently known for a resident ghost called the White Lady. So it's a ghost of this lady called Wilful Warrender. She was the daughter of the commander of the fort, Governor Warrender. She was in love with an officer. His name was Sir Trevor Ashurst, and they got married. After their wedding, Wilful and Sir Trevor were just wandering around the grounds of the fort. Wilful saw some flowers at the base of a battlement, and Sir Trevor decided to climb down to get some for her. He was about to do it, and an on-duty sentry volunteered to do it for him. Apparently, it was a difficult climb, and he thought he could do it. So Sir Trevor took the man's place as guard because someone had to be on guard duty. However, he fell asleep because the sentry did not return.
That is not good.
It's not good.
The sentry fell to his death or something?
Maybe. Probably.
We don't know.
We don't know. But the sentry did not come back. So Wilful's father, the commander of the fort, was on his nightly inspection and saw the sentry, or so who he thought was the sentry, leaning against the wall. Governor Warrender challenged the sentry, but the challenge went unanswered. Realizing that this person, the guard, was asleep, he shot him through the heart. Apparently that was the policy at the time. If you were caught sleeping on guard duty,
shot in the damn heart,
you were executed instantly.
Sick.
No trial. You just died.
Okay.
So after that, he went out to inspect the sentry and he realized that it was the body of his son-in-law, who had just got married.
Whoops.
So his daughter was obviously rather distraught by this.
Right.
Might be a little ticked.
Yeah, just a little upset. So she threw herself off the ramparts into the ocean below. Another water one.
Another water
one. Yeah.
Just damn water world up in this
again,
bitch.
as this seems to be a theme, she threw herself off in her wedding dress.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it seems to be a standard thing with most of these white ladies.
So her ghost is not as violent as the others. Apparently, she's described as a beautiful girl with sad, kind eyes. Apparently, the one local claims that they were running by the fort one night. And he stopped to tie his shoe. He fell over, or was about to fall over. He was losing his balance, and he put his hand out to steady himself on the wall. And another hand, a ghostly hand, came out of nowhere and grabbed him and steadied him. And helped him.
Helpful
ghost, yeah. Another instance, a nurse saw the white lady standing over the bed of a sleeping child and was just talking to it. Not in a menacing way, apparently, in a nice way.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's nice to occasionally get some nice ghost stories, not just malevolent dickhead ghosts.
Yeah. Apparently, a sergeant at the fort said that his daughter described a white lady standing in the window, smiling and waving down at her. And nobody else could see her, just the child. However, she's not always gentle. Apparently, she's nice to people who maybe deserve it, but she doesn't seem to like the officers at the fort, or at the time anyway. Apparently,
for sure.
She was described as going through locked doors and pushing them down the stairs.
That's very funny.
Yeah,
so that's a very funny move.
Yeah, so she would just fuck with them hard. Not actually kill them, just kind of
hurt them, just shake them up a bit.
Inconvenience their day slightly.
Yeah, just maybe embarrass you.
Hey, don't you go shooting anybody through the heart now.
You know what? As a ghost, that would be my only task, is to inconvenience someone's day slightly. Not hurt them. Just be slightly annoying. Move their keys,
Yeah. And then the only other one I have was the Sophie one, but we already kind of touched on that. We don't really need to go into that. The castle from that, I couldn't remember the name. It was bugging me. It's called Three Head Castle in West Cork.
Yeah, they call it Three Head because it has 3 towers, and it's also called Dunlock Castle.
Yep.
Yeah, or Dunlow.
Dunlow.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a Gaelic word that means fort of the lake.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's basically all I have about that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, why don't we come in for a nice landing? And,
let's bring her in.
Yeah.
You know what? Plug the social media stuff. Obviously, follow us on YouTube. We would love some more subscribers.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Boost us up.
We're putting some more work into our videos. So I know a lot of you are probably just listening to this, which is totally cool.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it.
All good. But if you feel like watching on YouTube, it's cool. We would like that.
We're on TikTok. We haven't posted clips in a while, but we'll get back to it very soon. Same with our Instagram. Our TikTok is at Do Ghosts Be Real Podcast, and our Instagram is Do.Ghosts.Be.Real.
Man, this is gonna be
still can't fix it.
2 years from now, we're gonna still be saying that.
We sure will be, because it's not getting better, and I've submitted a lot of tickets.
And our email is doghostsbereal@gmail.com.
Yes.
Keep sending your stories.
Keep sending them.
Please do. We're loving it. We love reading them, and we respond to every single email.
And
so
we
send them off.
We are absolutely going to do an episode. One thing I realized that we don't do anymore is we never introduce ourselves.
That is
true. If we have any new viewers,
people better know. But no, we appreciate appreciate all the listeners. And,
Yeah, we really do.
Like, you know, we know we've been away for a couple of weeks, but it's going to get better.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna get back into it.
Going to get a lot of fun-fueled weeks ahead of us. So
Yeah, we got some good ideas. We're
Got
gonna
lots
do
of
our
good
we're gonna
stuff.
do our ghost sex episode. I can't wait.
that one's going to be a funny one.
Spectrophilia.
Yeah.
But tune in next episode for what are we doing? We're doing
We
the
are
Penhurst
doing the
Asylum.
Penhurst Asylum,
Oh,
one of the
it's
most
gonna be-
famous asylums in
That's
the world.
gonna be actually terrifying.
It is not my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Very spooky.
So-
But anyway, check that out next time. And to address Simon's introduction issue, now it's an introduction on the outs,
On the out.
on the end of it. But I'm Spencer,
I'm Brett.
And I'm Simon.
and this has been Do Ghosts Be Real. Check in next time for the Penhurst Asylum.
See ya.
Bye.